Okay. There's definitely a problem with streaming to Instagram. Maybe it's network. I was still struggling with this my Instagram matter. I don't like admitting, I don't like being wrong. I don't like admitting that something is not working. I like to always make something work. So this idea that is not connecting just makes me feel extremely uncomfortable. I don't know.
Sorry about that, ma. It's still the same thing. It's still not connecting.
It's not. And I went live yesterday, so that's even the part that I'm like, so what happened yesterday? Was it network? Because yesterday I was able to go live. It was really easy. I simply just connected the link and it went live. And now I'm connecting it and they seem not to be connecting or going live.
Oh, so sorry.
I'm clicking on the go live, it's not going. Okay,
Maybe a
showing
network
connect.
glitch. Sorry.
As I was just wondering what could be going on. Um, and the network is good. I don't have any network issue because I'm able to go live here. So I think it's StreamYard that is not even connecting. I can't connect with the StreamYard software. So it almost makes it impossible to do what I want to do. Okay. I've asked you to introduce yourself so many times. I'm just feeling like I feel like we should just start, which is way to
I
make me
can do the
admit.
reintroduction.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I believe you can see me and hear me. My name is
Yes,
Chinyere
yes.
Distinguished Lydia Chimezie, and I serve as the corporate comms and social media lead at Rep 360. Basically, my job, my role is serve as a bridge, a communication bridge between the company and our target audience to make sure that we help our audience to achieve their wealth creation goals through real estate. and then to make sure that Rev 360 is able to fast track that wealth building for you wherever you are, whether you're in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. And it also doesn't matter your income level. We have something you can start with, whether you're currently on 100,000 salary or you're in a 10 million naira salary per month. So we have something for you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Uh-huh. So you're welcome. So our conversation today is supposed to center around insurance. Whenever we're having any topic, I like it to be something that the person that is we're having the conversation with can conveniently, I mean, you have a personal experience with this. That for me is important. Like this is something you can relate with. It's something that is personal. So yeah, we're live. I
Oh,
figured
thank
it out.
God.
I just
Thank God.
I would not be comfortable. I don't think this is me, but this is me apparently. I would just not feel okay until I found a way to figure it out. So I'm so happy that I was able to figure it out because it was really going to affect our ability to go live. Because the most important thing for me is it worked yesterday and success leaves clues. If you don't give up, you'll
Yeah,
figure it out. So in my head,
yeah,
if I just give up and continue with the conversation, it will mean that I have given up on something. Like I tried it, it didn't work, and I just gave up. And somewhere my head just cannot, I can't wrap my head around it. Like, how would I just give up? Something worked yesterday, and if it's not working today, it just means I need to figure it out more. Not that I should just pack up and be like, I'm done. So yes, now I am in this meeting. Yo.
welcome, welcome.
And more importantly, I know what I did. And that is why I love my core strength and skill as a teacher is because I diagnose problems. I When I see successful people, I know how to dig to the question to find out what was the real thing. So I've hosted a few people, and when they leave, I'll tell people that, see, what they explained is the root of their success is not the root of their success. From my analysis, I know what it is. They don't know what it is. So let me tell you what it really is. And it sounds funny, but it just displayed itself in that I was struggling to get live on Instagram. And I tried and tried, and I tried and tried until I figured out what I was missing. And it was just a little button. I was doing everything, but I didn't press a particular button that allowed me save my changes. So when I was able to, when I
Oh,
now found that button and I pressed the button and I saved my changes, it automatically
it
linked.
became
So here I was putting in the key and clicking go live. It would not go live because I didn't save the changes. Many of us
yeah,
are on social media. We are joining these lives. You are attending trainings. You are acquiring knowledge, but the knowledge is entering your head, but you're not saving it and in programming the change into your mind. So you can't see a different result, even though you have read 1,001 motivational books. You have read books on finance. You have read books on wealth. You have attended programs. You have attended conferences, but the software needs to save the changes you are imputing in. If not, I was just copying and pasting. The savings was not working, and so the results would not correlate with
be
what is
upgraded.
expected.
Yeah,
So, yeah, for those that have gotten something, you've already gotten something. For some of you, you'll be waiting until the lecture comes in. So where are my people? Because right now this was not the live that we set up. So we don't have all our like topics and all of that where it should be. So I'm just putting it up now so that our topic can scroll appropriately and our conversation can properly start. Chinyere, distinguish the one and only. It is good to have you here. You are such a powerful
that's why
force.
I started
Like,
dragging.
hey, network is dragging. Guys, shut that
It's
down.
back.
Everything you are doing there,
It's back.
shut it down. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's stable again.
So
I
I
can hear
was
you now,
talking.
mom.
Okay. I was talking about, I think it was from your end actually, because on Instagram, my video was good all through. So, but I was talking about how distinguished you are. I said, Chinyere distinguished, our one and only distinguished, that you carry a light and you carry energy and you have a personal story. Even Sandra used your story yesterday when we were live to talk about the 500 naira Coca-Cola story. But I'd like to know your money journey. Your money journey. Have you ever done insurance? Do you think insurance matters? Do you even feel we should be having this conversation on insurance? Knowing how much I've spoken about it, should we just continue on money generally and go deep into your real money story, your real estate journey, your commission story, the way real estate changed your finances? Because at the end of the day, you need to own that your finances have changed. It might not have changed to the level you want it to change, but you know it has changed. And that might be the real story for tonight, as opposed to what we prepared to share. So if you're just joining, let me know your name and where you're watching from. Drop it in the comments. Whatever question you have concerning finances, drop it in the comments. Today's topic is why insurance matters, but it goes far beyond that. And I would love to hear from you. So Chinyere.
Okay, so I think I'll answer your first question. You talked about, do I think it matters? Before now, I would say no. I mean, before 2026, to put a date to it, because I didn't think it was important. I remember when I bought my last one, which was about 4 years ago now, 2022. You know, when you buy phone in these major phone shops, they'll ask you, do you want them to insure your phone so that if the screen breaks, they would it will be covered, because you know the screen is usually one of the most expensive parts of the phone. And I remember saying no. Don't insure my phone, just give me screen card. And interestingly, insurance was just 5,000. I had 5,000. I'm like, why would I insure my phone? So I didn't think it was important. I didn't think it was necessary. But interestingly, right now, a new phone, I would definitely insure it beyond the screen guard, because that phone, like maybe 2 or 3, and I spent like 25,000 naira changing the screen, which if I had insured it, I would have just gone back to the phone shop and they would have changed it free of charge for me. So I think insurance matters, and tying it to our finances and to wealth building. Building wealth is one, protecting is the other. Important that we insure not just our phone, but even our lives, because
Yeah.
health is another thing I didn't think that wasn't, because I always say, how many times do I fall sick? I come from a family where we rarely fall sick. But now, being a parent, having little children, and again, thankfully, my children don't really fall sick frequently. But the truth is that when they do fall sick, it costs something, and insurance would have just easily taken care of it. Thank God for Rep 360. Now I'm on health insurance. So I think that is to answer the question. The other one you asked, do I really want to go inside there?
Yes.
But
Yes. Yes, you know why I'm shouting excitedly? Let me go and recap your insurance story. Whenever I think of insurance, usually I'm thinking of big things. Even in this conversation, I wasn't thinking phone insurance. I wasn't. I was thinking car insurance, house insurance, camera insurance, life insurance, health insurance. I was thinking big things, but insurance is more than the big things. Insurance is about protecting anything that is important to you. Your health is important to you, insure it. Somebody's bum bum was very important. The person insured her bum bum. Somebody said that his
wow,
leg is very important. He insured his leg because, like, I'm a
yeah,
footballer. My leg is my
yeah.
money, and he insured his leg. You know, nobody, you didn't know J-Lo insured her bum bum. J-Lo insured her bum bum
I didn't
because
know.
her shape was like her major thing. And she insured it. So anything that is of value to you, insure. Your life is important, insure. Your car is important, insure. Your house is important, insure. Your what else? Your salary. There is something called your paycheck insurance. I don't know if we have it in Nigeria, but they have it abroad where you can insure your paycheck so that if your salary stops, suddenly you get laid off, your salary will be paid for, I think, 6 months consistently after that time, just because you insured your paycheck. As in, anything that you know, if this thing goes, it will pay me. When you buy a new phone and you know you cannot replace the screen easily, that means this screen is important. Sandra was saying something yesterday. She said that emergency funds, she didn't mention insurance because she didn't think of it. Because, like many of us, we see insurance in terms of big things. She had to fix her phone just 2 weeks ago. It was very,
I
not even
remember
2 weeks ago,
that
just this
story.
week,
It was almost a
Monday,
100K.
and she just had to fix it. Whether she liked it or not, the point is that phone was literally, our phones are almost like our life. Everything we do is on the phone, all transactions on the phone. So here she was in need of a phone that she didn't plan for because she didn't insure. If she had done insurance, she probably would not need to pay that money out
Yeah,
of pocket. So anything that is important to you, anything that you really need, insure it. So insurance is extremely key, extremely key. Something that can be stolen, insure it. You know, that is extremely important. There's something people do when you are sending luggage from one place to the other. Whenever you are making a shipping luggage, they'll ask you, do you want to insure it? And many people undervalue their luggage. So I have one of my cousins, really close cousins. She runs a logistic company. She ships things to the US, UK, Australia, anywhere abroad from Nigeria. And she complained to me that majority of our clients, when she asked them, can we insure, even though their product is worth 1 million naira, they will say it's just 200,000 naira. So they will insure to the tune of 200K. What then happens if she will tell, I told her, because she was having issues, I said she should let them sign a disclaimer that if your item gets missing, it is what you insured it to that you will get. So even if your item is worth 1 million naira, you called your insurance 200 and they'll give you 200 if your item gets missing. But because you feel I might not need it, this will be waste of money if I don't use it. That's why many people don't do insurance. But we have spoken extensively about insurance. So Sandra, I want you to there's something I usually do. I want you to type out something for more inquiries about all our real estate offers. All the numbers I usually put, I want you to type it out so that Josephine can pin it on the screen. So it will be there permanently. If somebody wants inquiries concerning our real estate offers, they can easily see it there. Anyway, while waiting, while waiting for that to come up, I wanted
It's
you,
already
Chinyere, to
scrolling.
talk about, huh?
I think it's already scrolling.
Yes, I tapped it to scroll, but the scrolling is usually small on Facebook and Instagram. But if I comment it and
Okay.
pin the comments, it tends to be more bold.
Okay.
When people are making money, we have this culture in Nigeria that when something is working for you, you hide to eat it. Your yam is fruiting, you cover your yam. Chinyere, I'm not going to agree. You know why? They say we overcame by the blood of the lamb and the word of our testimonies. So I listen to other people's success stories, and that inspires me to believe it is possible. I hear people's stories of how, oh, my salary used to be 4,000. Now my business runs into billions of naira. And I'm inspired. Some of my mentors will be like, oh, I used to trek from the office to the house every day when I started my real estate business. I did that for like a year before I could save money to buy a car. And then now I'm giving away 30 cars in 1 year. 30 cars in 1 year from someone who was trekking for his first year of business. I find that very inspiring. But if any of them don't share their story, I don't see possibilities. I don't see the possibility. So that's why we share our story, not to flaunt, not to brag, but to seek how to inspire others. Are you with me?
I'm with you. I'm waiting for the question.
You don't want to jump in. I don't need to ask you question. As I have paused, you just dive in. You just be like, okay, TMO, let me confess. Okay, TMO, I understand. You don't need me to ask a question. Just share and flow. Meanwhile, if you're watching on YouTube, do subscribe to the channel and share our channel as well. We're actually streaming at Rep 360 TV. Rep 360 TV. That's where the real action is taking place. We can take your questions right there. And I would love to get your questions, no matter how much or how small the questions are. Do throw in your contributions. All right, Chinri, over to
Okay.
you. No question, just share.
Okay. I will share that okay, I've always had like I put milestones to my life. So I'll say, okay, I'll do this before 20, do this before 25, do this before 30. So one of my dreams in terms of finances, I said I wanted to be a millionaire before 30, but that didn't happen. I remember that when I turned 30, that was also when I had my first child. That was the year I got married and had my first baby. And my income then from my salary was okay, I wasn't working, I was just doing my business. And in a year, I wasn't making up to a million. This is not in a month. I wasn't making up to a million cumulatively. On a good year, maybe we'll do 1.2. But then the following year, I got a job. And by the time I add my annual salary, it wasn't up to 1.5. Let me just put it that way. Now, like 4 years earlier, that was 2016, I could do like 1.2, 1.5 in my salary. But by the time I got to my 30s, I hadn't become a millionaire, which was my dream, which was my target. And then my annual income was not really, really like measuring up. But I'm not done. Yes, I'm almost done. Thank you. Sorry. The gatekeepers are checking if I'm done. So, no. So sorry, please. So
No problem.
but this is what I did. I remember when I got into 2021, I was really obsessed with myself. Okay, not upset. I told myself, okay, I'm 30 now, I'm going to 31. What am I going to do? And one of the things I decided to do was that I was going to start saving in dollars. Now I wish I started earlier. I wish I had known that information earlier because someone had told me about RiseVest and I didn't really pay attention. Long story short, I started saving in dollars and then dollar was 590 naira for $1. And I remember that January, I told myself I was going to start and get to $500 by the end of that year. How it was going to happen, I didn't know. Okay, sorry, this was 2022 January. I mixed the days up. At this point, I was not really like earning a stable salary. The only stable salary I had was 20K per month. But when I set a target, I make sure. Of course, I pray, I put my hard work, and I believe when you set a target, like they say, where there is a will, there is a way. So just set your mind on it. So I started saving any extra money I got. I saved $500. I started at 590 naira per dollar. By the time we got to December that year, I think a dollar was about 700 or 800 naira. So, with my interest, I had gotten to 1 million naira because of saving in dollars and getting my interest. But then I got into Rep 360, thank you, well, in 2024. Now, when I saw the salary, I wasn't happy because I was earning higher than that in 2016. I was in a job that was paying higher than that. But I remember CMO told me something. Don't look at your salary. You will earn commission. That this salary is just like, it's just take it as a stipend. Come up with us and grow with us. And you're going to find out that even this, what you are negotiating, because I remember when they asked me my salary expectation, what I told her, they ended up giving me one third. I'm like, God, at this stage of my life, I thought this was going to fast track my financial destiny. But the way she told me, she said that I should come and when I grow with the company, I will see the impact on my finances. And to be honest, I'm going to use 1 million as a yardstick because that's like the first level of being a millionaire. Of course, I had gotten to millionaire levels through saving in dollars, but with Rev 360 and through commissions, what used to be hard for me in a year became possible in a month. So that is my financial journey in summary, and I hope it inspires somebody. Baba, I hope this is okay. Or do you want me to go into more details?
No,
But that is the summary. Just
no, no,
any.
no. I wanted you to first share to the extent with which you were willing to share, because many people, our financial journeys are personal. They're personal struggles they've gone through. Many of us, our identity is heavily linked to our financial stability. So everything regarding our monies affects how we see ourselves, and how much we want to share is also influenced by how we see ourselves. So um there are many things I want to pull out from your story, and it's something I've shared a lot of times. It is the ability to see hope, and it's why I'm asking you to share this. There's someone listening to this um class, and the person is considering and saying this is a pay cut, but is not seeing the opportunity that that job represents or could represent, you know. And I have learned to be able to take pay cuts. And I'm happy you were willing to. You were not, there are other people that I've probably interviewed that didn't take the pay cut. I don't know what their story is, but I always just feel very strongly like you're better off with us. Anybody that works with Rep 360 or sells for Rep 360 is better with us, because we are very, 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 very intentional about the growth of our team and realtors. It is something that I don't joke about. Just today, I was in a meeting and somebody brought up the idea of a train. And this is not to flaunt or to brag about what we do in Rep 360 or what I represent. No, it's just about sharing the testimony to enlighten others. Yesterday, I got a long message from Tomiwa. I know that because you work remotely, you might not know Tomiwa one on one. But Tomiwa used to work with us at Rep 360, just resigned in May. He had told me since February that his family wanted him to work and manage something in Ibadan and other things he was meant to do. And I told him, wait till Game of Money is over. And he actually waited till we finished Game of Money before he stopped work. But guess what? Even though he hasn't worked with me, he sent me a long message. TMO, Wisdom and Win video is not coming like before. Your viewing has dropped. You are not producing all the content that we're going to do. What about the series we say we are going to do? Like, this is someone that has left. But because of the value and the quality of relationship we have, I still have like, I was still giving him assignments, even though he's not on the paycheck. He was still willing, he was still committed to what we are doing. And this is serving as a reminder to any business owner that is watching. It's beyond you. It cannot be about you. Even Jumoke that has left us since 2023 or 2022, that Jumoke left Rep 360, still checks in. We are doing conference. She was still sending ideas. As in, like, people have gone,
Goodness,
but they
it's
still have a
dragging.
level of commitment. Can you hear me? Is the network good?
Yes, it's back. But it was dragging
All
it. It's
right.
back now.
So I now sort of like had a meeting today, and there was a developer, a young developer there, who was talking about attending a training. And she was telling me that, oh, he was telling me this training is very expensive. Oh, I had to just pay the money. I want to attend a training, so that it's a real estate training. And when I said how much, when he said it, I said, I would like two of my staff to follow me and attend the training. And the guy was shocked. And I was like, what's shocking you? I cannot want to go somewhere and the people in my organization are not able to see the picture. They need to hear the stories other people who are doing great things like this have to tell. That's the best way for them to be able to see it, which is why I compelled you to share your story so that others can begin to see the possibility. So yes, we are going to be doing a training. I've sent a DM to the organizer. I hope she replies me early enough for us to still catch in on the early bird fee. And we're able to do that training for a few members of our team that are in Lagos. But the journey of wealth is not done with just your eyes. It's done with a level of delusion to believe in the possibility. And I know people that are listening that need to have that level of, I believe it will happen. You mentioned setting goals. You mentioned giving accounts, reporting, counting your costs, doing a breakdown, and you always do that. And I feel it's a very, very strong part of your success story. And it's an indication of the fact that you will definitely go far because you do those things. But I'd like you to break down a bit more your journey. Meanwhile, let me just shout out to Chinyere. I have a Rice Vest account now because Chinyere shared her Rice Vest story. And I'm saying that because Everybody knows Chinri works in my organization, but I am learning from her. Some people have become so much of a big boy, a big girl. You become Oga and you are refusing to learn from everybody around you. It is another way you are losing money. Is another way
True.
you are losing money. The story of the general in the Bible. How did the general, the leper, get his healing? If he did not listen to the maid in his house, he would not have gotten healing. He won't, because he was arrogant. How can you tell me to go and wash in this river Jordan? He can't, like, I am, do you know who I am? Because I'm a leper. Mm-mm. He had the humility to listen to an opinion that was wise and brought about his healing. So, Chinwe, take me back to your rice vest story, and um, how did you hear about it and what convinced you to join?
Okay. Thank you, but before I get into that rice vest story, there was something you said that really caught me. You said some people tie their identity to their money, and that is so true. And I was also there. So I believe before you earn more, you have to learn. So I'm very big on personal development, and that's also why I was able to take a pay cut. In fact, that is one of the reasons I'm sitting in Rep 50 today, because you are one of Coach would call it people of hope. You are one of the people I really look up to, and you don't just preach growth. I see you grow, and I see you carry as many people as are willing to grow with you. So for me, where you're working must be able to do one or two things for you. It's either you're earning or you're learning. If you are blessed, you earn and learn. But Rep360 is giving me both. I'm learning and I'm earning, and it's really brilliant. So that identity thing, I remember I went for, I can't remember if it was NLP now, where it was mentioned. NLP is neuro linguistic programming. I did my NLP in 2017, the level one, and it was one of the things that was addressed, because the truth is that we, most of us, especially if you're not from a wealthy home, you can tell when there is no money in your parents' pocket, because there is more tension, there is more frustration, that's transferred aggression. Let me put it that way. But when there's money, that and mommy are smiling, anything you ask for, nobody is going to. Can't you see? So it's something that rubs off on you when you start growing up. When you have money, you're happy. In fact, people can sense from your WhatsApp status that you have money, because you start you're just very transparent. And the same thing happens when you don't have money. But NLP helped me to realize that no, people should not be able to detect when you have money and when you don't. And that has really helped me. So even when I am cash strapped, you can't tell. When my account is overflowing, you can't tell. So it is a discipline. You have to learn that your identity, your expressions, your emotions should not be tied to what you have or don't have in your bank account. So when I thought to mention it is really, really important. Then talking about Tomiwa, I know Tomiwa. I came for the retreat in December, so I met Tomiwa. I worked with him. In fact, he was one that took those five pictures I took at the retreat home. So what Tomiwa did working with you is good. And I also remember that was part of why I got to work with you, because I was doing volunteer work for Coach Ida's Asia Habulaji Olojo. And it was a 2 years, and this was the time that I was the brokest. It was a stay-at-home mom academy, and before then I had known her through blogging. She's somebody I follow from afar. I hadn't really met her one-on-one at this time. Have I doubt. I'm not sure. Okay, I met her for the first time in 2021. But before then, I was already working with her pro bono really. And then you saw the work I did on her website, and she recommended me. And that is how I came here. So I shared that I'm never really after money first. I know that we live in a world that people tell you, in fact, people have told me that she's just using me. I'm after what I'm learning. It must not be monetary, really. And I feel when we look at wealth as just cash, we are going to really impoverish ourselves, really, because money is not in whatever currency. Dollar is not even the highest currency in the whole world, but is actually one of I think is the most international. So let me just use dollar.
Yeah.
So people are
Yeah.
always focused on what can I get? What is the exchange? And if you are always transactional, you're going to miss out on a lot of wealth. Let me just use that word, because this is a wealth conversation. So I worked with Coach E for 2 years pro bono, I knew why I was there. People have abused me, but like I would work for her, I would still send her gifts. And I felt this woman had money, but again, I'm also a person of faith. I pray, and when the job came from you, even though the salary did not meet my expectations, I still remember that I prayed, and I just like, this is not even the job I was applying for. At that time, I was applying for a job with Sterling Bank. They had opened an opportunity for stay-at-home mom. I was a stay-at-home mom, and it was for stay-at-home mom who had taken a career break and were coming back. I had taken a career break after having my second child. So for me, that was what I wanted, because I know that Sterling Bank pays well. But that's, in fact, I feel it's important to share the story because I don't know who it is for. Because I had done the first phase of their interview, I scaled through the second stage, and then I did the third one when I got a message from Coach E that she had recommended me to get interviewed with you. And then we had that conversation, and I was at the point of saying no. Meanwhile, Sterling Back hadn't gotten back to me. I discussed with my husband. My husband, like, I should just take it. I said, this is what they're say. A bed at hand is what two in the bush. I'm like, God, I beg. You know how I fasted and prayed for this? They're like, of course, Sterling is a bank. And then my husband said, take this thing, no, take this thing. So I took it. Thank God I did, because the very next week, I got those kind of messages. I tell you, thus far have you come, but no further. So that was how Sterling dumped me. But I wasn't so broken because I had a Ref 360 offer to catch me. So that was also why I took that on. Then secondly, I also believe that you can kind of control what you get from a job. I believe in wherever I am, give it to your best, even though that I'm not yet at my best. There's always room to grow. But I came to Rep 360 with the mindset that I don't know how long I'm going to be here. In fact, I didn't think I was going to stay up to 1 year. Based because of my childhood, I have an issue with long term. So I'm like, let's do the first 1 month, first 2 months, first 1 year. When we get like I said, I like milestones. It keeps me going. I can't, even with my marriage, I told my husband, I don't do till death do us part. It's far. Just thinking about it can make me collapse. Like, I can't see the end.
Let's first start.
So let me work with
Let's just
what I
start.
can see, what I can track, what I when we get there, then we can now set the next. So when I came to Rep 360, I entered with my whole heart, and I joined in February. 5th of February was my start date, and by March I had made my first sale from my WhatsApp status of 6 million, and that was how we started going. And then the commission, it wasn't even the commission that was the motivation, because commission was like just 2%.
It
It
was
wasn't
very
much.
small then.
Sorry, 4,
I
yes, it was
know.
2% or 4%. Sandra, can you confirm? It was really, really small. So it wasn't like, I just like, I believe in this company. I'm here. I remember 2 people in my church had called me, 2 men I respect, married men. They called me one, they said distinguished. That why am I talking about this company? That they've never even heard about this company. They told me to resign and join Hebron Homes. Is it Hebron? What's the name of Adron? This
Mm.
green, that
Yeah,
now
it's
the
Adron.
energy I'm
Adron, yeah.
putting, that the energy I'm putting, that this company is not known. What I did, I came back, I said, hey, these people, they don't know electricity. So I added all my fire. How can the people that know me not know? So that was my ginger. I have to, because they felt that I was backing a packed car. Like, no, this car must move. So I used all my energy, and today I'm benefiting from it. Electricity is benefiting from it. And wherever I go to tomorrow, electricity will be in my CV. Whatever I've achieved in electricity is also part of my accomplishment. So I don't
Mm.
feel if
Mm.
I'm somewhere, I should be quiet about that. So, and now it has, okay, it has impacted my finances. I mean, like, it has really positively impacted my finances. Now, I've forgotten the main question you asked me.
Ah, 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 ah.
I think I've
Hey.
digressed.
No, no, no. I don't think it is. You didn't digress. Um, our conversation was to start from, I don't even know where we started from, but I've enjoyed where we are. And why have I
The
enjoyed where we
network
are?
is unstable and draggy. I can't really hear you now.
Okay. Why have I
I think
enjoyed
it's
where
better.
we are? We didn't digress. Our conversation is not about a topic. Our conversation is to share, to achieve transformation, and people transform. They say some things you don't learn, some things you catch. Like, I can't teach you, you will catch it. So my expectation is somebody is watching this and they are catching something for themselves, and their journey, it might be different, but the ability to see beyond ordinary eye, faith is a journey of not walk like you when you're walking by faith, it's not by what you see. Oh. It doesn't make sense. Do you understand? And there are several. The father of faith in the Bible is Abraham.
The
It did not
network,
make
I'm struggling to hear you. The thing is dragging
on.
and going on and
It
off. I'm struggling to hear
just
you.
you would when you will catch up once I continue. So with Abraham, it was not a case of what he could believe because it didn't make sense, but he believed. I was praying this morning, and as I was praying with my friends, and I was like, the way God is going to do what we want Him to do, we will need to be as delusional as the people that carried water to go and present on the altar, because they took water, they knew they were carrying water, and they went to present the water at the high table. We don't know when the water turned to wine, but the person drank,
Yeah.
and then he said, "This is the best wine. Why did you save the best for the last?" That's the way faith is. A lot of times when we talk about money, we're looking at money from the perspective of Naira and Kobo account balance without realizing that the real wealth, the real money is not the one you can see. It's the ability to keep working with your cup full of water and present it to someone and the person drinks wine. That is the real money.
Fine.
Many people are unable to carry the water to the point it will turn to wine. Many carry the water and then they give up on the way before it becomes wine. Many carry the water and keep on looking at it and like, it's still water, it's still water, it's still water. It's you can't plant a seed and be checking on the seed that is not growing. You open it, it's not growing. Then you go back to the seed and open, it's not growing. That seed is going to die. You have to be able to plant a seed and be watering the seed and keep watering the seed, even when it doesn't make any sense, even when nobody, they're not seeing the result, they're not seeing the fruit, they're not seeing anything. You are watering it. You are watering it. But the moment you start opening it to check, is it working? Is it growing? You undo the progress you are meant to achieve. And I think that is something anybody here can go home with. The fact that if I have plugged into this, if this is what I'm doing, many don't achieve success because they're not committed to it. The wealth does not show up because you did not have the commit. You are not consistent with that journey. So thank you for sharing your story of consistency. Thank you for talking about how you were working with Coach E and there wasn't any pay, but a recommendation came and something else came out of it. And even when others felt it didn't make any sense, you continued with what you were doing. It is extremely important. Actually, it is not important, it is required for success to happen. Extremely important and required for success to happen. I'd like you to talk about your this time, we're rounding off because we didn't start early. And I don't want us to spill beyond 9 o'clock because I know that you have your generals, your generals, they are waiting for you to be done. And I don't want us to leave people without basic steps that you would advise you carried out on your journey and was helpful so that others can also implement.
Okay, that's basic stop on my well journey. Is that what you asked? I
Mm,
couldn't get it because of the
yeah.
network. The network is coming and going.
Mm, yeah, basic steps on your wealth journey that helped you and you want other and you believe if others would do it to help them as well.
Okay, so I think the first thing is expose your mind to financial literacy every week. In fact, there was a time I still try to do every day, but at least 3 times every day. I must read something on finance. I must watch something else. Like your mind, because if you're living in this part of the country and if you're not from an affluent home, your predominant knowledge, your residual knowledge, your knowledge bank about money is about scarcity. And you cannot access wealth if you're thinking scarcity. They cannot cohabit. So you must continuously expose yourself. So if you are joining this 25, like this week, I've not joined live, but I catch up. Once I'm cooking in the morning, I'm listening to these 25 days of Buzz because I need the financial reset. The information is important, right? So I think that's the first place to start, because if you don't start with new knowledge, your mindset will definitely fight any action. Just like when you talked about the Instagram, if you are not
Mm.
saving, it's not going to work. So you must consistently, it's just like if you have Coke in a cup and it's half filled, when you start pouring water and it gets to the brim, the color will not be Coke, but it will also not be clear water. But if you continue
Mm.
pouring, after a while, you would have clear water because you would have dispelled all the Coke color, whatever thing that was not clear. That's the same way if you come from a poor background or you're still fighting to access wealth,
You need
you
to
must expose
saturate.
yourself to financial
Yeah,
knowledge to cleanse.
you need to saturate your mind. That's the word I
Yes,
love.
that's what
Saturate.
oh, that is the apt word. You must saturate, because that is where your action can now come from, and it should not feel like you are an imposter, because
Mm.
that is who you have become, right? So that is one. Then the second thing is take small steps. Start from where you are. I remember that I have always known how to save as a child, but I didn't have a plan for my savings. So I remember far back in secondary school, and this is like between 2001 and 2007, I had saved up to 10,000 naira. And for me, it was a lot of money back then. It was from money people would give you for Christmas, for something. I would save that money. And what would I use it to do? Someone will say, I want to do something. Like I was basically saving to help people because I had no goals of my own. Even
Theory,
though
you're
I knew
still
I
doing
wanted to
that.
do this,
Even
but
you
I
you
did
know
not.
it. You're still doing,
I
you know
didn't
you're
really.
still doing it.
I've grown. I've grown a bit, because when I say I've grown, because I now I pay myself first. So whatever
Mm.
I give now is from what is left. So I already use my income appropriation table. So from that IAP, it's not negotiable, except when I say, okay, I want to sow a seed and it will have to cut from that side. But a lot more disciplined. I still fall victim. But then in 2016, that was the first time I met Coach Shola Ade Shokin, and I had to complain to her that I realized I save, but my money is not even for me. I didn't even buy clothes for myself. I didn't buy jewelry, but I was always helping people, And she told me that yes, it's good to be generous, but you must budget. So I learned that in 2016, budget your generosity. But that's not even the point I want to make now. The point I want to make now is start saving, no matter how little. Because I remember that when I took my financial journey seriously, was from that, yes, that encounter helped. But that was when I decided that instead of taking Coke or any soft drink, I was saving 150 naira every day, minimum. So I had, it was not even in an app or in a bank. I had this when oil perfume came out, it had a carton. So I had this oil perfume carton, and I was stacking that money. I started saving that money in October. It wasn't the 1st of October, but between that middle of October till first week of December, by putting 150 every day, some days 300, some days 500, money I would have used for snack, I had saved 20,000 naira. I remember I went because I was living in Surulere then. So I went to Lawrence in the closest Stanbic IBT to me, and I opened a mutual fund money market account with that money. And that was how I started with my intentional savings. And I did that from, this was now 2016, December 2017. And then when I was going to get married, I made another financial mistake. I put all that money to use and do wedding. So when I entered marriage, I started like from ground zero.
Guilty. We are both guilty of that one. It's okay. No
So
regrets. We thank God.
it's part of my learning points. So now I remember when I had my first child in 2020, I did, because I remember I was saying I will save for my children, whatever. Because when you give it, people will give you money, people will give you diapers and all of those things. So I was, because of course we're not like financially stable. So we use that for family upkeep. But by the time 2020, 21, and I said, no. I think this ties to the question I forgot, which I remember. I said, how did I start my Rise Vest journey, right?
Mm.
What led to me that was two things. That I had heard about saving in dollars, but nobody ever explained it to me. Someone mentioned it to me in 2021, but I really didn't understand it. But 2022 January was when I said, okay, This thing I've been hearing, I've not paid attention to it. Now I want to pay attention to it. I now asked my colleague, and she told me Rise Vest. I did my research. I opened my account in January, which brings me to the point that yes, start small, but don't just put your money anywhere because you're saving. I had done that as a child, save and then it's for others. You are not, it's not about saving. Your savings must be given a target, a goal. It must be set on an assignment to achieve wealth for you, whatever category
Specific.
of wealth for you. Number two, you must investigate where you're putting your money. What is the authenticity? What is the validity? Is it something that will last? What is the interest rate is very important. What is the flexibility? Because now when you're saving, I think it was Coach Yemisi, that was on Monday. I was talking about she uses access. I didn't even know that a regular bank. I just know that Wema has this alert. I didn't know access has such a thing. So where you put your money is really important. So if you're putting it in where you can easily access, it's probably for emergency funds. Because one of the reasons I
Mm.
used RiseVest was no matter how you beg me, I'm not gonna liquidate my dollars.
I cannot help you. I'm so sorry
So
from the bottom of
that
my
was the
heart.
thing. So that was one of the reasons I went to RiseVest because number one, I knew it was
Me
going to help
too.
me grow. And number two,
And
no matter
discipline.
because
It
I'll check
locks
I
it
bought this
down.
thing at this amount. I'll not come and change it. Like it's gonna be a loss for me. And when you lend money to people or give people no interest, you just run a loss. Sorry, my you're tired. So I'm just gonna wrap up. So
No, no,
let me
no,
just
please.
touch the
I'm
numbers.
enjoying.
Number
I'm
one,
enjoying it.
saturate your mind with financial information, financial literacy, financial intelligence. If you can get a coach, that's good. But basically, start from the free. There's so many free ones on Instagram, on YouTube. Follow TMO. She's a financial, and I have learned a lot from her, even from our Monday meetings. You cannot be foolish if you listen to her financial advice. I have learned a lot just listening to her in meetings, and I'm a remote staff. I'm telling you,
Mm,
go on YouTube, you will learn. Follow this, even if it's just this 25 days, watch the last 12 days, you're going to learn a lot. And you
mm,
stop making some mistakes that you might not even realize that are hurting your finances. Number two, start where you are. I said I started for 150 naira. It didn't look like a lot, but it grew to 20,000 naira in less than 2 months because I didn't start that thing until my birthday is 17th of October. I think I started by my birthday. 17th of October to first week of December, I had saved 20,000 naira from 150 naira in a day. Number three, put it in a platform. Because if you put money under your bed like our mothers used to do, it cannot grow. It only grow dust. It cannot increase in value. So put it in a platform that is valid, that is guaranteed, and always check. Like for me, I put my money in Piggy Vest. Piggy Vest is 16% flat on Piggy Bank. So once my money is up to 1.5, it cannot be there because it cannot rise higher than 16%. I move it to Rise Vest if it's for the Naira Vault. Naira Vote is as high as it used to be 25%, but as at this month now it's 23%. And that is for 12 months. Thresholds, OPay before on the old wealth, you can have 100K at 15%. As at now, they have changed it to is 50,000 on old wealth. So if you are putting 100K in your old wealth, it's only the first 50,000 that will give you 50%. All the rest will give you just 5%. So you must investigate the platform where you're. Don't just say 15% and you think that is what you are getting, but there's a percentage that is getting the rest. So you before I put my money anywhere, I joined WealthSync. I checked it. I didn't understand. I cannot see the interest rates, and I follow Coach Shola. I trust her, but I don't understand WealthSync. So my money is not there. So you must know where your money and what you are gaining from where it is. And again, portion
I move my
your
money, I withdraw, I will move it to another account. I will move it, I will withdraw. If it does not make sense, we will not keep it. I've made the
exactly.
mistake.
And
I've made the
consist because
mistake.
they'll
Mm,
tell you, they will not tell you when they change their terms and conditions, but when you open the
mm,
platform, you will see it. They will not really like
mm,
send you an email. So that's why you must keep checking. Don't say, oh, that's how I mean PiggyVest last year was 18% per annum, and I know how I benefited,
mhm,
but this is 16%. So I move. When I check where I saw my finances, if I is long term, the one I'm keeping for 10 years, I know where I put it. The one that I
mm,
saw this year, like saving for house rent, I know where I put it. So when it's time to liquidate, I won't start waiting for 48 hours. I put it where it can easily be accessible. So these are things that you must know on
mm.
where to put your money. And please, consistency is key. Don't wait for when you have 1 million or 100 million. Start with 10 naira. When I started my dollar, this rice vesting, I started with $10. which was 5,900 naira. I still remember it. As at today, monthly, my interest on RiseVest is at least $21 per month. Even if I don't work this year, do $21 times 12 months, at least I'm gaining at least $400 in a year, then convert it to naira. So you can start from where you are. Don't wait for tomorrow. As you're hearing me, go and put your money somewhere. If you need more information, you can put it on the chat. We're going to respond to you as your wealth advisors. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chinyere. And that's why I felt like I can't hold Chinyere. When I met Chinyere, Chinyere was a stay-at-home mom, a writer. But in talking to you, I knew that you had so much capacity inside you. Like it was just waiting for expression. Until today, I still feel like you have so much capacity inside you that is still waiting for expression. Endless creation, the entire creation is waiting for the manifestation of Chinyere, and we will see it in beautiful
Amen.
colors in Jesus' name. I'm so
Amen.
proud of you. Well
Amen.
done, well
Thank you
done,
so
well
much,
done.
ma'am.
Your
Thank you.
investment shows. It shows that you are developing yourself and you're paying attention. Um, we will be doing another session with you because we need to break down these different small investments. Me, I really don't know much about small investments. I know big investment, but I know people that have small investments, and so this can be good vehicles for them. Of course, if you're buying real estate, that's the core of our transaction. We also have a current partnership opportunity that will pay you good return if you partner with us as Rep 360. But minimum is 1 million. Preferably, the real return come if you are doing 100 million. So talk to any of the numbers you see on the screen. Chinere is a mega sales machine, and she's high on integrity. Her number is right there on the screen. Can you see Chinere's number? You can single out her number and say, oh, I've heard Chinere. I want to talk to Chinere. Talk to her. I trust her. You cannot poach her. God has still tied us together for now. When God says it
Yes,
is time
sir.
for her to move on, I will release her with joy and happiness, with prayer, because it is time. But for now, we're still together and we're growing
Yes, sir.
together.
Yes,
Thank you
together.
so
Yes,
much.
sir.
I love you. You know I do. I celebrate you. Thank
I
you
love
for
you
what you
so
do
much.
for a
Thank you so much, sir.
360 and the consistency of your delivery. I can give Chinyere assignment and go to bed. I don't need to see her, it will get done. And it is something I say behind your back, and I'm saying it publicly in front of you right now. Celebrate you. God bless you. Well done. I know God
Thank
will, when your time is right to do, when you are doing your own projects, you will not need to struggle for staff. God will send Josephs your
you.
way, who will carry your
Amen.
matter and work with you diligently as you've served others in Jesus' name. God bless you. Thank you,
Amen.
guys, for your time, for your watching. And I want you to, if you are currently working as a salary earner in a company, I want you to work in such a way that your boss can say this about you boldly. It is something, it's a big deal. So serve diligently. God sees your labor in secret, He will reward you in public. I'll see you all
Amen.
tomorrow for another day, another interesting topic. Stay with us. Watch the replay if you joined late. Good night. Love to your
Good
boys.
night. Thank you so much. Bye.